Well, all right. It's that time of year. TAC season is here, and we have 3 different TAC events here in Michigan to choose from. We've got one in Crystal Mountain, one in Boyne Mountain, and then another one up in the UP. So super excited. This is my first year going to TAC. I've been wanting to do this for several years, but was never able to go. So this year definitely made the time. We're going all 3 days. We're going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a group from my Bows and Bibles Bible study, and just hoping to have a good time with that. So I felt like I needed to jump on the bandwagon, and you got to tell everyone what your TAC setup, what you're running. So I'm going to go over my bow setup. I'm going to go over what I'm taking with me to film with, and then I'm also going to tell you guys about 5 things that I bought for TAC that I think are going to help you out too. So let's get into it. I guess first off, let's talk about my bow. This bow is a bow that I won. It only cost me 40 bucks, and if you want to know more about that, you can click a link up in the description over here. But basically, I won this at a archery event, another archery 3D event, and was super cool. Brand new Mathews Lift 33. Finally have this thing dialed in, shooting over 100 yards. So let's talk about the bow setup. It is a Mathews Lift 33 again. And I've kind of decked it all out in neon green. Did a custom pinstripe job on it myself, which I think just gives it a unique look, kind of makes the thing pop. I 3D printed my own neon green bow stand, have custom stabilizers, front and back bar. Got some custom wraps for those from onestringer.com. Also, I'm running the CBE Trek Pro Micro 3V. Try saying that. Good grief, it's a mouthful. Had to spend an extra 30 or 40 bucks or whatever on the Mathews bridge lock system for it. But running also the Mathews QAD rest. Have this thing set up with the 75-pound, 29.5 draw mods. I don't know what feet per second it is shooting, but it's pretty fast. I'm pretty happy with that. Also going to be shooting some RIP TKOs. I wrap these things with some custom wraps from onestringer.com. Got AAE Max vanes, 100 grain field points. I will say this, one thing I do regret is putting in the outserts that come with these, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. Also have a custom sling here that I made, and just looking forward to getting this thing out. I have one more mod I'm going to be making, but we'll save that for another day. We're going to talk about the 5 items, and I'm going to include one bonus item as well that I bought just based on all the videos that I've watched of other people's TAC events. So let's talk about it. Item number 1. I've watched several videos from other big YouTubers, and one thing that I saw that I was like, I had to get.
Go to Total Archery Challenge. They were like, yeah, go, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be the funnest thing ever. It's hailing. It's hailing right now.
Is a rain jacket. So for like 30 bucks, picked up this really nice camo rain jacket. Packs flat, folds up into itself into this little pouch that's gonna fit right into my bag real nice. The whole thing packs up real nice into the front pocket of itself. That could be money well spent. So, a rain jacket. Item number 2. For that, let's go back to the RIP TKOs. So I got these RIP TKOs, was really excited about them, and the insert looks really cool, this half outsert. The problem is it's kind of hex shaped, and shooting that into brand new foam is super tough to get out. And I was really disappointed that I hadn't heard about this issue beforehand. But what I did find, I already had some arrow lube, but what I did find is this. AAE makes this lube tube, and what you do is it comes with a bottle of the lube, and it just has this little rubber cap. You squirt the lube down inside there, and all you got to do is simply just insert your arrow like that, pull it back out, and you've now lubed the whole tip of your arrow. And it makes getting these things out of new foam super easy. I think that's going to come in handy, especially for these arrows. As I struggled, I just got a brand new Matrix target and shot these, especially at 75 pounds, at 5 yards in my basement. I had to lay the target down and stand on top of it to pull these arrows out. Once I put this in, you can almost one hand pull these things out. So the tube lube really works. I also ended up buying just this little keychain retractor that I'm just going to keep that on my bino harness so I can just pull it out and easily, you know, lube up the arrows or anyone else's as well. So I think that's well worth it. The other item that I ended up buying is some backup arrows. I bought these off of Temu early in the year and bought them super cheap and ended up decking them out so that they are within about 5 grains of my RIP TKOs. So if I end up kind of losing a bunch of RIP TK, if I end up losing a bunch of these or I'm worried about breaking one, we'll sling one of these guys down. At 100 yards, they seem to be hitting fairly consistently with the rips. At 100 yards, when I sighted this thing in, I had those Temu arrows in a group about that big, which can't complain about. So, and it was windy that day, so super happy with that. Item number 4 is this right here. Since we're talking about arrows, this little 2 arrow quiver. It is made by Trusty Arrow. You can follow him on Facebook. I think he's got a YouTube page. I stumbled across him. He's a fellow Michigander. 3D prints these little things and even fits these 5mm arrows, no problem. I think it even, if I remember right, we threw in some 4mm and it holds those no problem as well. So super neat little 3D printed thing. Comes with the screws and mounting hardware to just put this thing right on your bow. Doesn't add hardly any weight. Now when I'm at TAC, I got an arrow right here. I don't have to worry about going into my backpack where I'm going to have all my arrows or a hip quiver or anything else. I've got first shot, and if I didn't like that, I've got a second shot ready to go. I think that's going to be a huge help, a huge advantage. Also comes in green, which was cool to add that to the bow. So check that out. I have a link in the description down here for Trusty Arrow to pick one of those up. He has a bunch of other items as well that he sells. And then item number 5 was I picked up a backup release. A lot of guys have been saying that you need to have 2 releases. And I really like this B3 Exit Pro. I've been shooting this for a couple of years. I ended up buying this Carter Simple one. And to be honest with you, I really still love shooting this B3, but I'm trying to get into shooting this 2 Simple. So either way, still going to have 2 releases with me for TAC. And then the last bonus item was I picked this water bottle holder up for TAC just to attach it to my backpack, because my backpack doesn't have a water bottle holder, which I was kind of bummed about, but at the same time, a lot of them wouldn't fit a large size water bottle like this. So I have this one that is really good for keeping drinks cold, or if you guys are familiar with Circle, adds a little bit of flavoring to your water, fits in there really nice. Plus it has a little bonus bag in the front here, all with all sorts of MOLLE webbing. You can pick this sort of thing up on Amazon for less than 10 bucks. I think that's well worth it. I think that's a good addition for less than 10 bucks. Comes with a nice little clip to clip things on, or this MOLLE webbing. So that is my bonus item. Now let's get into my filming setup. I really don't want to lug around a giant tripod, camcorder, boom mic, all that stuff, wireless mics. So I'm going to kind of go minimalistic because I really don't want to be hiking that stuff all around. I don't want, you know, I might get some drone footage, but I don't want to carry all that around with me. So the one thing that I made a year or 2 ago was this little rig, and I'm not going to show it, but it goes down and there's a little frame that fits inside my backpack here, and I use a carabiner to keep the zipper closed that locks this into place. And then I have the 360 camera mounted on it. So when I have this backpack on, it's on a swivel. I keep that really nice and tight so that I can kind of swivel it where I want. And then I can also extend this thing out. So it can lean out in front of me. It captures some really cool shots, and it's compact and light. This whole rig's made out of aluminum, so it weighs practically nothing. And this camera weighs not a whole lot. So you're already lugging around the backpack anyway, so I think that's a cool way to get a neat perspective. I also run a backup battery on this thing down into the backpack, so should have plenty of battery life. Camera number 2 is going to be an Osmo Action 4 on a little extended selfie stick. on a tripod. So this whole thing, I could use this just as a vlogging camera style, carry it around talking into it, or set it down when we get to a target, kind of film arrows getting shot into the target or us shooting, you name it. This thing is one of the best action cameras out there, way better than GoPro. And if you want to see why GoPros suck, check out this video right over here. But I highly recommend the DJI Action 4 or Action 5. And then, of course, I mean, you got your cell phone. I mean, people, you can film so much stuff with your cell phone. So I have this simple tripod that I love these tripods. I don't know why they're not a bigger seller. Nice, compact, like this. And they also extend out. I'm not sure why these things aren't more popular, but I love this. I have two of them. One of the legs is broken on the other one and tends to slip a little bit, but this thing is a great tripod to keep around. So those are the three cameras that I'm going to be taking, that I'll be carrying with me to film, try and capture a lot of my very first TAC. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear what bow you guys are running. Tell me, out of these 6 items, what one would you likely take to TAC? Also, if you've been to TAC, tell me, what stuff am I missing? What other things should I be bringing with me? Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for sticking around. See you guys in the next one.